Jacob had 12 sons, but of all his sons, Joseph was his favourite. One day, Jacob gave Joseph a splendid new robe. It was beautiful and rich with all the colours of the rainbow. But it made Joseph's brothers really jealous. Because they wanted rich rainbow robes too. Then, to make matters worse, Joseph kept on having these special dreams. "I dreamed I was the greatest, I was king," Joseph told his brothers, "and you all bowed down to me." Now I'm sure you know, even if Joseph didn't, that telling your brothers things like that isn't a very good idea. And it made Joseph's brothers hate him even more. They wanted to kill Joseph and his dreams with him. And one day, that's exactly what they tried to do. They tore Joseph's rainbow robe off him and sold him to slave traders for 20 pieces of silver. The traders took Joseph to Egypt and made him into a slave. And the brothers went home and they lied to their father, telling him that Joseph was dead. "That's the end of the dreamer," they thought. But they were wrong. God had a magnificent plan for Joseph's life, and even when it looked like everything had gone wrong, God would use it all to help make the plan come true. And things were not going well for Joseph in Egypt. He was far from home and from his dad. Then he got blamed for something he didn't do, and even though he had done nothing wrong, he was punished and thrown into jail. But God had not left Joseph. Joseph trusted God to help him and made friends with some of the other prisoners. Joseph was made chief prisoner and helped look after the others in jail. And one morning, one of the other prisoners came to see Joseph. He'd been a wine taster for Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And the wine taster said to Joseph, "Last night I had a dream. I was picking grapes and squeezing them into Pharaoh's cup. Oh, squeeze, squeeze. Oh. Then I put the cup into his hand. What does this dream mean, Joseph?" And Joseph answered, "You will be freed from jail soon, and you'll become Pharaoh's wine taster again. Once you're free, please don't forget about me, 'cause you can help me get out of jail too." A few days later, as Joseph had said, the wine taster got out of jail and became Pharaoh's wine taster once more. But he forgot all about Joseph. One night, Pharaoh, who was king of Egypt, remember, had a scary dream about thin cows gobbling up fat cows. What on earth did it mean? He hadn't got a clue. But Pharaoh's wine taster remembered that Joseph was a dream expert, so Pharaoh sent for Joseph. "It means a famine is coming," Joseph explained. "There won't be enough food for everyone to go round." Pharaoh was so pleased by Joseph's skill that he immediately took Joseph out of jail and he made him a prince. So you see, God was with Joseph and was working out his plan. Now back home, because of the famine, Joseph's brothers had run out of food and everyone was hungry. God's special family was in danger. If they didn't get any food soon, they would starve to death. So Joseph's brothers travelled to Egypt to buy food. They came and knelt down before this new prince in Egypt. His brothers didn't know that the prince was Joseph. But Joseph knew who they were. Joseph's dream, the one about his brothers bowing down to him, was coming true. "It's me! It's me!" Joseph cried. And when they saw Joseph, his brothers were afraid. They had done wrong to Joseph by selling him for 20 pieces of silver. They had sinned, and they knew it. Now Joseph would certainly punish them for that. But Joseph looked at his brothers, and his eyes filled with tears. Even though his brothers had hurt him, and hated him, and wanted him dead, in spite of everything, Joseph couldn't stop loving them. His heart, which they had broken, filled up with love, and Joseph forgave them. Joseph threw his arms around them. "Don't be afraid," he said. "Behind what you were doing, underneath everything that was happening, God was doing something good. God was making everything right." Joseph didn't punish them. He rescued them. He brought God's special family to live safely with him in Egypt. This was God's plan all along, and it helps us to understand God's even bigger plan for us.